decision over Novak Djokovic.
Well, I'll tell you what, front page of the Sunday Times, they show an eruption not too far from Australia. The eruption is happening in Australia as we speak.
That is the most incredible picture. We'll have a closer look at it a bit later. Because I've never seen
now the eruption
so
is in Australia itself because the judges, the 3 federal judges, have come back and unanimously said he's got to go. And the sad thing is, it's been slightly misinterpreted by the press. Because people say it's one rule for him and another rule for them. They've misunderstood it. As I mentioned last time, what they've said is that Djokovic is a threat to public order because he would be the poster boy of the anti-vax movement. That's a very different thing to saying that he was allowed in because they found out originally that actually he complied with whatever the rules were to get in and therefore he could play. I think that this is scandalous and this is political.
Do you?
Yes.
Well, it is. There's no doubt it's political, is there? I mean, how do you see it, Ali?
Oh, of course it's scandalous. If you've got the world's number one about to set a record and get the 21st Grand Slam, first person ever in history to do that. And it's a really sad day for tennis. It's a sad day for Serbia. It's a sad day, actually, for Australia as well. Because if you decide on the rules, I get it. If you're turning around and saying, hang about, is he allowed in? Well, yes, here are the rules. Do they make sense? If they turn around and say, you broke the rules, you can't come in, I understand it. This isn't about...
Do you think they always wanted to stop him entering Australia because of his anti-vax?
I think Australia is one of the hardest, most fierce countries in terms of their regulation. So 90% of people in Australia have been vaccinated. There's an election coming up. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has got an election coming up in May. All sorts of people say, well, hang about, you've got to make an example of him. And I do think it's political and not. They would have a good case.
Hold on, though. I mean, Ali, what do you think of this? In the sense that whether the original decision was political or not, this has been upheld by 3 federal judges. Now, they're above politics, aren't they?
Well, look, I think the fact that this has been rumbling on for a week is just unedifying, both for Novak Djokovic and for Australia as a country, quite frankly. I mean, he is a champion. As Andrew says, for tennis fans, it's a very sad day. Djokovic probably in the deep, cold night somewhere, probably thinking maybe I should have just had a vaccine. It would be a lot less hassle. I could have actually avoided all this. And he's potentially looking at a ban now from Australia for the next 3 years, potentially more titles. But look, some of his rivals, Rafa Nadal's come out and said that the tournament is bigger than any one player. And that everyone has to adhere to the rules. I do think Andrew's making a fair point here about that it is an election year. This is a very emotive topic in Australia. There have been people in Australia have been living under various sort of forms of lockdown for a long time, particularly in Melbourne. And there is a real groundswell of emotion that people in powerful positions or leading sports figures should be abiding by the same rules as the rest. And
but he has abided by the rules.
Exactly. You're absolutely right.
I mean, by the sound of it, his visa application was all right.
And I think that's what they're saying. They're going to publish the reasons later. And this is why we have to correct the narrative. I've been looking in the break at all the different newspaper reports. Oh, great, hurrah, one rule for them, another rule for them. That's not the story. The story is the discretion that they have to say, hang about, you might cause a civil disruption.
But my understanding, Andrew, was that you have to be in Australia for 2 weeks in quarantine to actually be released. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to have an exemption from that rule. So, I mean, it's all a bit... But the bigger picture is that, frankly, someone of Djokovic's stature should have never got involved in going on that plane in the foot. They should have not embarrassed him in this way. It's turned into a standoff now geopolitically between Serbia and Australia, and the whole thing is a mess, and it looks really bad all round.
To make it easy, though, the question should be, did he abide by the rules? If the answer is no, then it's very clear, off you go. If he did abide by the rules and it's become political because he's the poster boy for the anti-vax movement, I think that's scandalous. When the reasons are published, we can have a look at it. But at the moment, and the reports that I've seen coming out, it's basically saying the latter. In other words, the rules are fine, he's entitled to come in, but it's because he's a poster boy for the anti-vax movement and it could cause public disorder that we get rid of him. That is wrong.